Ham in the Bible. Ham was one of the three sons of Noah, along with Shem and Japheth. He is first mentioned in Genesis chapter 5 verse 32, where Noah's sons are listed. Ham's story unfolds in the context of the events surrounding the global flood and its aftermath. Role in the flood narrative. Ham played a part in the dramatic narrative of Noah's Ark, as recorded in Genesis chapters 6 through 9. Jehovah God instructed Noah to build the ark and save his family, along with pairs of animals, from the impending floodwaters. Ham, as one of Noah's sons, helped with the construction of the ark and entered it with his wife, his brothers, and their families. According to Genesis chapter 7 verse 7, Ham and the others were preserved because Noah walked with God and found favor in his eyes. The flood was a pivotal event in human history, as the Bible describes it. Jehovah's Witnesses view the flood as an actual historical occurrence, a demonstration of God's judgment against wickedness, and his provision for those who were faithful. Incident with Noah. Genesis chapter 9 verses 20 to 27. After the flood, a key episode involving Ham occurred. Noah became intoxicated from wine made from his vineyard, and he lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Genesis chapter 9 verse 22. In contrast, Shem and Japheth respectfully covered their father without looking at him. Jehovah's Witnesses interpret this incident as more than mere voyeurism or disrespect. The act of seeing may imply a lack of honor or deeper impropriety. Ham's behavior reflected a disregard for Noah's dignity, which was significant because Noah was not only his father but also a servant of Jehovah who had been instrumental in preserving humanity. In response, Noah pronounced a curse, not on Ham himself but on Canaan, Ham's son, stating, "Cursed be Canaan. Let him become the lowest slave to his brothers." Genesis chapter 9 verse 25. Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize that this curse was prophetic and specific to Canaan, not a blanket condemnation of Ham or his descendants. This distinction is crucial, especially given the historical misuse of this account to justify racial prejudice. Witnesses categorically reject any such interpretation. Ham's lineage and descendants. Ham is identified as the father of several peoples, with his descendants listed in Genesis chapter 10, the Table of Nations. These include Cush, associated with Ethiopia or Nubia; Mizraim, Egypt; Put, Libya or parts of North Africa; Canaan, the Canaanites, who lived in the Promised Land before Israel's conquest. These nations played prominent roles in ancient history. Jehovah's Witnesses note that Ham's descendants spread out into regions of Africa, the Middle East, and possibly other parts of the world. The Bible records that many of these nations later interacted with Israel, often in opposition to Jehovah's people. Significance in biblical prophecy. Ham's lineage has significance in biblical prophecy and history. For example, the Canaanites were eventually displaced by the Israelites as part of God's promise to Abraham. Egypt, Mizraim, was both an oppressor of Israel and, later, a place of refuge, e.g., during Joseph's time and when Mary, Joseph, and Jesus fled there. Jehovah's Witnesses focus on these accounts as evidence of Jehovah's overarching sovereignty and his ability to fulfill his purposes despite human failures. Lessons from Ham's life. Jehovah's Witnesses draw moral and spiritual lessons from Ham's actions and the consequences of his behavior. Respect for authority. Ham's failure to show respect for his father Noah highlights the importance of honoring parents and recognizing the authority established by Jehovah. Exodus chapter 20 verse 12. Personal responsibility. Ham's actions had repercussions for his descendants, illustrating that one's choices can have long-term effects. God's justice. Jehovah's Witnesses stress that the curse pronounced on Canaan was not arbitrary. It was a fulfillment of God's foreknowledge and justice, not an expression of prejudice or favoritism. Jehovah's Witnesses' approach to biblical characters. Jehovah's Witnesses use Ham's story to reinforce their belief in the Bible's accuracy and moral guidance. They emphasize studying these accounts in their proper context and avoiding speculative or harmful interpretations. Through publications like the Insight on the Scriptures and articles in the Watchtower and Awake, Witnesses encourage understanding the deeper principles in the narrative rather than focusing on cultural or racial assumptions. Conclusion. Ham's life and the events associated with him serve as a testament to human imperfection and the need for humility and respect for divine authority. Jehovah's Witnesses use Ham's story to demonstrate how Jehovah's purposes are carried out despite human failings and to highlight moral lessons that remain relevant today. They reject any misuse of Ham's story to promote division, instead focusing on the Bible's unifying message of hope and redemption for all of humanity. Please share and like and please subscribe.